And go.
Okay, athletes, you can all be Superman now. This is about how to zone and flow. With the following info, you can make it to the top. The athlete who breaks through the thought barrier will be at the top of the pyramid. You will be the one they will remember. Athletes, how good do you want to be? If you want to be the best of the best, you need the zone. Athletes and the zone should go together, but most of the time they do not. Why? It's the way athletes think and think about the zone that keeps them from it. Look at number 1, the box. Those are the ones who think the zone does not exist. Number 2, these are those who know it exists but think it only comes when it wants to. Number 3 are the athletes who know that it will come every time because they know how to break through the thought barrier to the place filled with rhythm and team chemistry. The place where the ball seems bigger, time seems different, and everything falls into place. Now there are a lot of slick professionals out there who think technique is everything. And if you are not performing, there is only one problem holding you back: your technique. Technique is an absolute, they say. Now maybe it is, and then again, maybe it isn't. Maybe technique isn't everything if you can break through the thought barrier, which is the box, and slow yourself way down past focus into the zone, and then keep the ride going on into everlasting flow. If you do that, I'd say you have the technique guy beat every time. Don't you think? Where are you on the pyramid? Take a look at it. If you're thinking while you're playing, you're at the bottom of the pyramid, in the box, in the dark spot. If you break through the thought barrier, you will be at the top, and then you will be the one they will remember. So if you know what the zone is and what it feels like to be there, and if you can isolate that dreamy, expansive, slow-moving, flowing feeling in your mind, you can bring the zone on and into play whenever you want to by remembering the feeling of it. Then, by going into that feeling, you forget your usual bounded, boxed-in self and become more expansive and better as you turn into flow. If you're good at getting into the zone, then what I have said lets you feel it right now. Why? Because you are in love with that feeling, that flowing feeling, and you are always on the lookout for it. So all I have to do is speak about it and you start to get it going on. It is that way if you want to feel all the time, even when you are, it's that way you want to feel all the time, even when you are not doing what you love to do best. When you are not in the zone, you feel cut off, like an isolated box alone. And if you're on a team that has no rhythm and no team chemistry, everyone is in a box alone. Ask yourself, how many times have you felt like your team has no chemistry, that you are these individual little boxes? If you stay like that, you're going to lose, unless the other guy or team, your opponent, is like that too. Then the best technique guy or the best box guy will win. But like No Technique Tebow of 2010, if you can commune with your team in the rhythm of the zone where all are of one group mind set, you will win every time, even if the other team looks better. Here's a little something that you should remember. When the zone is in play, looks don't matter. So how do you go from your losing form, the tight box, to your winning, free-flowing form, the form where you are a master of space. Simple. Let's start with those who know the zone. Remember the feeling of it now. Remember how you felt when you made that catch, caught that pass, or rode that wave. The feeling of it is always the same. So bring it on, flowing, dreamy, easy, beyond bounds, on the outside of the envelope. If you have felt the zone before in that way and cannot do that now, it is because you are in a box of thought, filled with emotion and unrest. And when you are a box, you cannot feel out the space around you. You cannot intuit, feel out your opponent's next move. When you are in the zone, you are a space conqueror because you are aware of everything that will happen there, that will happen next on the field and on the court. Look at the picture. Look at the box. How much can a box intuit? Look at the other side. It's taking over the space, even the space of the box. Here is a picture of you, the space conqueror versus the box. Think about all the great heroic athletes that you know. Are they not larger than life? Don't they know where the ball is ahead of time? Don't they seem to have eyes in the back of their head? You can do that too. Don't watch them, be them. As an athlete, you have to be where it is at. You have to be in the zone. So, what do you do to amp down and clear yourself of emotion and thinking so you can feel the zone that you know? The fastest way to do that is to yawn. That's right, yawn. No, you won't get tired. Watch a cat after a fight or a cat that has been locked out of his house. The moment the anxiety event is over, the cat yawns big to release tension and stress. A cat will not live long in the wild unless it gets rid of thought and emotion barriers right away. A wild animal knows it has to be on alert 5 at all times. It knows it has to be ready for battle. So let's go. I bet you're filled with a lot of thinking and emotion right now. You've probably been doing a lot of texting before you go out to play. So if you want to clear yourself, yawn big. It works because it comes from deep within and spreads like peace throughout. We are hardwired to yawn. Try not to yawn when others are. You will yawn as you try not to. So yawn over and over, maybe 20 times until you feel at ease like a blank page out of your thought box. When you are clear, remember that time when you felt the zone. I was talking to a Brazilian soccer player today. All I had to say to him was, "Ever been in the zone?" "Yeah," he said, as he grew big with the memory and the feeling of it. That's all it took, and both of us were mirroring that feeling back and forth. We didn't have to yawn. Between the two of us, we cleared ourselves instantly. And now that you are clear and of that feeling, bring up your competitive game face with your will. You've cleaned the slate. Now you've got to bring yourself into fighting mode. So bring on your will with a word or a phrase that works for you, that gets you going. Mine is, you don't leave your buddy on the battlefield. So think, what will you use? You've yawned, cleared yourself. Now you've got to get yourself ready for battle. Once you think of your word and get it going, now you are armed and ready.